Hello everyone, welcome back to SoggyBottom Homestead. I'm Dawn. We're going to do another Christmas craft project. Now stay tuned and we'll show you how we did this, and don't forget to hit that like button. These are placemats, and yes, they came from the Dollar Tree. We're going to use 2 for each pillow that we're about to make. Now normally you would sew right sides to right sides and then turn it wrong side out, but I want to show this edge, okay? Now you don't sew this whole thing up because you do have to stuff it at the end. So what I'll do is I'll start here and go all the way around and leave me an opening like so. Now you can seal this 2 different ways. That's my Chihuahua that doesn't know how to be quiet. You can use your glue gun, or you can hand sew it, or if you don't stuff it too full, you might be able to put it on your sewing machine. Let's get started. We're going to use red thread for both types of pillows. I have all my bobbins, so I'll just pick one out. Looks like that one's got red thread already on it. So let's thread the machine. It does have a self-threading thing, but I was never very good at using it. So let's just do it this way. And for safety reasons, because of my son, I always drop the needle down inside when it's not being used. Case doesn't stay on, so we put the rubber band on it. Make sure you put your bobbin in correctly, however your machine works. Now, if you didn't have a sewing machine, you could do this project with the glue gun. It's possible to do that. Closer to my project. And yes, my leg is still busted. I still have the brace on it, and I go back to see the doctor on the January 2nd to see if the bone's healing. But back to our project. You're just going to match it up the best that you can. And I am going to sew approximately 1/4 of an inch. I don't want a big area open, but real close to the edge. And yes, I have people talking in the background. So everybody's busy doing things. Just like so, just match it up the best you can. And I probably overpin. That's just what I do. My mom's a more experienced seamstress or sewer than I am, so she uses less pins. Go ahead. And I start on one side and then match it up as we go around. So, you're probably hearing my mom on the phone with my dad in the background. He's at the grocery store. That's a job I don't like doing. Like I said, I overpin quite a bit. And it's not a perfect match. These did come from the Dollar Tree, and they're meant to be placemats, but we're going to do something else with them. Oops, that needle's got to go to the trash. It's boogered on the end. Always throw away your needles that are not sharp. They will mess up your fabric when you're trying to use them. Straight pins, excuse me, they still poke. They're a needle. Yeah, and on the bad ones, I don't know if you guys can see how crooked this one was. I should have gotten rid of it a while ago. I take an empty water bottle or, you know, milk jug, whatever you have, and drop all of my old needles down in, so nobody gets their hand on them when they go into the trash. Go. And I talk as I do projects. Anybody that's watched the videos of mine, they know I talk all the time. Now, here we are at the end, and it is a little bit further over. So I'm just going to take this pin out, match this up, because you are going to stuff it. So you won't notice this extra fabric here. Ooh, there comes Joseph. He's okay, everybody. He's just talking. And I'm only sewing it as basically I spread out my hand and I try to do projects that wherever my hand will fit in. So if your hand is smaller, you can do a smaller area. That's just my rule. Now, let's get busy sewing this. And I start, that's Joseph with a toy. He likes his dump truck. Excuse me, that's a recycle truck Joseph has. All right, back to the project. I start my sewing where I'm going to leave my opening, okay? And you're going to back stitch when you start so that when you stick your hand off in it, you don't tear your seam. And I'm basically sewing, let me show you guys. Here's another piece. You see where this folded over? I'm basically sewing right beyond it so that I have this folded edge out. You'll see when we get it going on here. Oops, I just kicked the camera. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can zoom you guys in a little. Clicking sound is my zooming. Let me see if I can get closer here. So you guys can see better. Joseph and I have been learning on about recycled materials. Put your pressure foot down, start your needle. Now, hey Joseph, hon, can you turn that off while Mama's filming, please? Thank you. Then we back stitch over it. Now, I would use a wider stitch in case you have to undo it. And needles out as I go. Like I said, I'm going right beyond where it's seamed, where it's folded over and already seamed. So, and I back stitch all of my corners just because. You don't have to. Right up to it. Back stitch. Come back forward. And lift your pressure foot with your needle down and spin it. So I've only done to right here. I can still stick my finger in. Make sure your pressure foot's down. And my needle is over to the left, just because I'm missing this edge. I didn't move it to the center. You can put it in the center if you would like, and do not run over your pins like I just almost did. It's a good way to mess up your needle on your machine. It's going to just take a little bit, but I wanted to show you all one whole pillow. And it's beginning to pucker a little bit, so the way I fix that is stretch it out. So, not too hard. Match up your corner. To our corner, back stitch. Lift up your pressure foot, leave your needle down and turn it. It's not going to be perfect because the fabric wasn't perfect to begin with. I mean, straight. Stuttering again. That's terrible. Back stitch. Needle down, lift your pressure foot, turn your project. Pressure foot back down. Take out your needles as you go. I mean your straight pins. Excuse me. I keep calling them needles. They're sharp. All right. got a little bit too much fabric again, so line it up and stretch the bottom one just a little bit. See, I don't want it. Back stitch, needle down, lift your pressure foot, turn your project. Now, don't do like I've done many times and close up your hole. Where we put the needle is your marker, where you want to stop. So, my thumb and finger there. Back stitch, because you don't want to rip your seam when you're stuffing it. Okay, here we go. Now let's get started on the next part. I did decide just to sew it on the sewing machine. I moved the stuffing up and I pinned it further back. Now, what I've done is made room for my pressure foot to go right here. It's not easy this way, but I wanted to sew mine, not hot glue it. You can hot glue it, mind you. You could do that. I just did not want to. So, matched it all up. Back up a little. Back stitch. Lift your needle, lift your pressure foot. Go. Now, let's take out our pins and see what happens. Okay. There we go. Now cut your excess thread off. And if you guys are more comfortable hand stitching it or hot gluing, either one would work. Readjust the stuffing a little bit here. Okay. There it is. Here we go. All stuffed and ready to go. Now I'm going to show you the rest of them that I've completed. I did complete 4 different ones. It took me about an hour. Snowflakes. Pretty. Truck. And joy. So, said it took about an hour to complete 4 of them. They're very pretty, and we will have them for many years.
Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe,
Ring that bell and like. God bless and stay safe out there.